Welcome to the first edition of the Game Center. Today we're going to be reviewing The Empire Strikes Back for the Atari 2600. I assure you this cartridge is The Empire Strikes Back. So to start off with, essentially The Empire Strikes Back, you're on Hoth, and you're playing as presumably Luke Skywalker, or any other member of Rogue Squadron, and you're going up against the Imperial Walkers, the Adepts, and essentially you're just trying to destroy as many of them as possible before they either kill all of your ships or they get to the power generators, thereby meaning that the rebels lose, which they're bound to lose anyways, because anyone who's seen The Empire Strikes Back knows that the rebels don't really win this battle. It's more or less a stalemate. Now, as you can see on screen, you don't have a tow cable or anything like that, but you do have an extraordinarily rapid fire on the ship, which means that you can destroy these walkers pretty quickly. Now, you may notice a little flashing dot on the walkers themselves, and because you just, right now I have the Force. When you play for about 2 or so minutes without dying, the Force is with you and you essentially become invulnerable for about 30 seconds, which is pretty helpful because you can usually destroy at least 2 or 3 walkers by the time you lose your Force powers. Anyways, as you can see, as you shoot the walkers, they change color, which indicates, how weak they are. They start off as black, and they go all the way down until they turn yellow. Right now it's brown, as you can see, and there they go. And occasionally there will be a flashing dot, like you see right now, which I just shot. And if you shoot that, you will actually be able to destroy the walker in one hit. Now, in some cases, they're easier to hit than other cases. Specifically, the one that I always find the easiest to hit is when it's right in the upper back area of the walker from behind. Mainly because, even though the walker can shoot behind itself, it's easier to dodge the blasts. Now, another thing you can do in this game is you can actually shoot down the walker's laser blasts, which is pretty neat because it's another way to defend yourself. So it's not just you going up against these walkers and you have absolutely no way to defend yourself at all. So that works out really well. And, the only real complaint I have is that you can't use your tow cable. I mean, you saw it in the movies, and you were able to use the tow cables, and for whatever reason, they decided not to include them in this game. I don't know why they did that, or why they thought it was a good idea, but what are you going to do about it? There's really not much you can do. So, just blew up another walker. It looks like I have the Force again, and hopefully I'll be able to get a few more before the Force runs out. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but when you have the Force, it'll actually play the Star Wars theme, which, for the time, is actually pretty good. So, this game is actually really fun, really challenging. It's easy to get into. There's a lot of different variations you can play. One of my favorites is to do what's called solid walkers. I'm sure you've noticed that I can actually fly right through the walkers and my ship doesn't crash. There's a variation of the game that you can choose where the walkers will actually be solid, and if you fly into it, you'll essentially just destroy your ship. It's like a suicide hit. There's also a variation where they'll have smart bombs that'll chase you, and that adds just another layer of challenge to the game. So, all in all, The Empire Strikes Back is a really, really fun game. again, like I said, it's a challenge, and yeah, I just died. And you know, it's like the typical of the Atari 2600 games. You know, it doesn't end until either you die or, you know, in this case, the Empire makes it all the way to the right side of the screen. Now, I mean, if you notice on that little radar at the bottom of the screen, the new walkers always spawn at the left end of the screen. If they were smart, they would just turn around and come around at the other end, and they'd be right there. They'd be able to destroy the shield generator in like 2 seconds. They wouldn't even have to put up with the rebels. But then again, maybe that's why the Empire lost to a bunch of Ewoks, and the rebels ended up winning the Galactic Civil War. But that's another story entirely, I suppose. And as you can see, I'm just bouncing around, continuing to shoot these walkers. And there goes another one. And let's see. Have any... There we go. Now, you see, you can land in those gullies, and you can actually repair your ship. That's a neat little aspect of the game, too. So, yeah, I just died. And it looks like this is my last ship, so last chance to save the galaxy, right here. If I die, we're stuck on Hoth, and we're prisoners to the Empire. So, it's all up to me in my snowspeeder, and we'll see if I can do it. Well, here's another one. Let's see what happens. Oh, come on. I'm staying alive here. All right. It seems like my ship is made out of like some super strong metal. And I just died. And the Empire has won. The Empire is victorious this day, just like in the movie. Well, thank you for watching Classic Game Center, and I hope that you stay tuned for more reviews of classic games.